Today we're going to have some fun with GIMP. We're going to take sort of a normal looking picture of our house, like this, and we are going to pretend that the zombie apocalypse has happened and zombies are running rampant and society as we know it is collapsing, and we get something that looks more like this. Okay, so there are several steps involved with this process. The first step is to go and find a picture of your home or of some home. So we're going to go to the internet to do that. The first step is to go to Schoology and find the zombie apocalypse assignment. Attached to the assignment, you're going to find several picture files. They must be downloaded. To download them, I'll click on each one, and once it becomes larger, I will click the download image button, which will send them to the downloads folder in my documents. I'm going to go ahead and X this out because I've already downloaded them myself. Then I'm going to open up my folder in my documents. You should have a folder just the same with your name. And when you see what I've done is I have created a new folder by going to File, New, Folder, and I've called this folder simply Zombie, and I'm going to put all of the things that go along with this project in that folder. That will keep things simple and organized. Then I'm going to open up the folder called Downloads, which is once again is inside of my documents, and I need to grab those picture files that I just downloaded and put them in my folder. So Clouds was one of them, so I'm just going to drag that over to Zombie, and you'll see it's telling me that it's already there, which is fine. And I'm going to go down and find all of the pictures that I need for this particular project. There's one of the zombies, and I'll drag him over. There's a red sky, I need to drag that over, etc., etc. Open up Chrome. We're going to go to Google Maps, which is maps.google.com. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and type in your address. If you don't want to use your current address or you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. You need to figure out some address to use, whether it's a relative's house or a friend's house. I used a house that I used to live at, which was 1218 South Clinton Street. You always want to have a comma. Tell it the city, Baltimore, comma, Maryland, comma, and finally the zip code. So it's going to locate that place on the map. And I'm going to take my little guy, just like Google Earth. I'm going to drop him right in front of that house. Okay, here we go. Didn't quite get exactly where I wanted. House is a little bit further down here, so I'm just going to click down here. Oh, you know, actually I'm looking the wrong direction, that's the problem. Yeah, there it is, the little A is. Okay, so I'm using the mouse and I am pulling the screen. I want to make sure that I see the house, but I also want to make sure that I see a lot of the sky, because a lot of the work that we're going to do involves changing the way the sky looks. So I'm going to get... At this point, I have to make sure that I have Picasa open, just running in the background. So if you don't have Picasa open right now, go ahead and go to Programs and open it. And I'm going to press the... If it says this, you can just press Later, please. I'm going to go ahead and press the print screen button. And when I do that, Picasa will actually grab the screenshot and it will save it for me automatically, which is very convenient. And you'll see that I went to the folder called Screen Captures, and I have this one right down here. So I'm going to open it up. This is the one I just took. And right away I can go over to Crop, and I'm going to crop it so that I just have the house itself, nothing else on my computer screen. I'm also going to leave off this little square in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, I'm going to press enter to finalize the crop, And now I can go to File and I can save this screenshot into my own folder so that I have it. So I'm no longer going to save it in screen captures. I'm going to go to My Documents, Mr. Eames, and I'll call this 1218 House, and I'll save. Now it's actually time to get started in GIMP. So I have started GIMP, and I'm going to go to File and Open. I'm going to go ahead and open the picture of my house. So that's going to be in My Documents, in my folder, and inside my zombie folder. Okay, here we go. All right, now the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of the sky. That won't be too difficult. I'm going to go ahead to my background layer. I'm going to rename it House, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and add the alpha channel. Anytime we're going to erase from an image, we should add the alpha channel to add that transparency. Now I have this nice little tool, which is called the Fuzzy Select tool. It looks like a magic wand, and what it does, it's going to find colors that are about the same. And since the colors of the sky are very different from the colors of the house, this will work pretty well. So I'm going to click here in the sky on the white part. And it found what it thought was all the things that are about the same color. I'm going to move the mouse down a little bit, and by doing that, I'm telling it you should find a little bit more, find a little bit more. And you'll see as I move the mouse down, it's getting more and more of the sky. Okay, and now it's got just about all of the sky. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and press delete. And you'll see I got just about all of the sky. Just to clean things up a little bit, I'm going to take my eraser. I'm going to tell it to select none so I can get rid of that selection. And I'll crank the scale up on the eraser. And I'm just going to erase all these little things. They're kind of hard to see, but there are definitely things in here that we don't want. Oops, and I went too far, so I'm going to press Control-Z. A little more careful. Make sure I get all that stuff off the top of the house. Okay. Now let's get that zombie sky up in here. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to Open as Layers. So whatever I open now won't be its own document. It'll be open up inside of this document. So I'll Open as Layers. And I'm going to open up the clouds. Okay, and right now that cloud picture has actually gone on top of my house. So I'm going to take it and click down so it goes below. And now what happens is the only place that cloud picture can shine through is up where we erased the sky. Everything else, the house is sitting on top of it. So I can actually take my move button here, and I can move that cloud layer around until I really get it the way I want it. And that looks good to me, so I'm going to let go. So now I have the clouds. Now let's add some color in there. So I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to go to Open as Layers. And we had this file called Red Sky. So I'm going to open that up. Okay. So now that's right where I want it to be. It's between the house and the cloud. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move it up so that it does cover the clouds completely. Okay. And actually, as you get that red sky, you begin to see some of the areas where we didn't erase everything quite as good as we should have. But that's okay. We'll fix that later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this red sky layer, and I'm going to change the layer mode from normal to multiply. What that does is it takes the clouds underneath and sort of gives it that red color, but it actually begins to look more like the sky itself. So right now my main problem in making this believable is that I have a nice and dark sky, but the house still looks like it's in broad daylight. It's still very bright and shiny, so I need to change that. I'm going to go up to colors, and I'm going to use my my curves. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the curve right around here. I'm going to pull it down, and that's going to make everything a little bit darker. Then I'm going to grab it up here, and I'm going to pull it up. And that's going to make the contrast a little higher. Okay? This is called making an S curve, because this curve begins to go from a straight line to looking more like an S. So with the sky in here now, I begin to see areas where I didn't do a good enough job erasing the original sky, so I'm going to take care of that now. I'm going to go up to the house layer. I'm going to turn off. I'm going to make these other layers invisible, and if I get in close by pressing Shift and plus, I can see these little areas where I did not erase everything I meant to. I have to make absolutely sure that I am erasing on this house layer, not the layer underneath of it. That will cause some big problems for me later on. So I'm going to make sure I get all these little things. And I'm going to go ahead and cut into this tree a little bit, because some of the blue from the tree is showing up, and that's causing some problems for me. Okay. Now when I turn these layers back on, hopefully I'm getting a clear picture. It's not perfect, but it's much better. So now really all I need to do is add my zombies into the picture and do a little bit of touching up, and I'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead, open up the images of the zombies. So I'm just going to go to Open. And I'm just going to pick Zombie 11. And by now you should realize what you have to do. We need to cut him out of the background. So of course we know several ways to do that. We can add the quick mask and erase either him or around him. We can use the path tool, or you can try and use the intelligent scissors tool. But either way, you need to cut him out of the background. I'm going to pause while I do that, and I'll be right back. So here I have my zombie cut out from the background. I can tell he's cut out because there is the transparent gray checkerboard behind him. And I'm just basically going to cut and paste him onto the screen. So I've gone ahead and done select all. So I got this whole screen selected. I'm going to right click and do edit, copy. And I'm going to do edit, and I'm going to do paste as a new layer. That just saves me a step. Paste as a new layer, and there he is. So now I can take the move tool, and I can move him wherever I want him. I can also scale him with the scale tool. Now, you need to be smart about this. The bigger he is, the closer he looks. That's how perspective works. So if I want him in the front of the screen like this, which I sort of have to have him because the bottom of him is cut off, then he should be kind of big, like he's right in front of the camera. If I want him walking along the sidewalk, he should be much, much smaller. He should be smaller than that door, in fact, because most people are smaller than doors. So what you need to do is cut out each of the zombies from the files, place them on your picture in a way that makes sense, and then we're pretty much going to be done. I'm going to add one more thing. This blue behind the tree is really starting to bother me, so I'm going to show you some ways that we can get in there and work on that a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to make absolutely sure I'm on the house layer, not another layer, and I am going to grab that fuzzy select tool, and I'm going to get these little areas of blue selected by clicking and then moving the mouse, and I'm going to delete them when I get them selected. I could also take my eraser and work around into little areas to make it better. Or one thing I could do is I could grab my clone tool, and I'm going to clone this by holding down Control and pressing the mouse key, and then whenever I draw, let me make sure I'm on the house. Oh, no wonder. Oh, I still have this selected, that's why. Select none. Alright, and now what I can do is wherever I have that marker I set by holding down Control, that's what it's going to paint. So if I set that as my control point and I go to paint, I can paint this green foliage, and I can eventually get rid of all those little blue specks in the background, and it ends up looking, over here you can see there's much less blue, which looks much more real, and that's what I'm going for. So you place the zombies in your scene in ways that make sense to convince me that the zombie apocalypse is actually happening. I hope you had fun. And if you look at the screen now, you'll see I have made a sort of before and after picture where on the left you see the house as it started, on the right the house as it ended up. Everything looks nice. I made certain zombies like this guy bigger because he's closer to the screen, and then this zombie in the background is much, much smaller because he's on the sidewalk. I've also done things like I've gotten rid of this little A over here by using the clone tool or by covering it up with a zombie. All these things go a long way to making it look more realistic.